And so he's trying to say to God, we come to you knowing that we have iniquity, sin, broken relationship with God. Whatever stands in between us and God, or that relationship has been broken. It's not that God would ever turn away, but some of us have turned away. Okay, we've turned away. So he starts to say, we have done that. And now, please, God, could we have a revival of who we are? We know that we need to do some things to be ready for that revival instead of just make the hot dish and show up. You know, that there's maybe some preparation we need to do. And he's saying to God that, you know, we know we sin. And it tells us in the Bible that all of us sin and fall short of the glory of God. And that it would be grave for anyone should they not realize in 1 John 1:8 is that if we say we have no sin, we declare ourselves, and the truth is not within us. So if we say we don't sin, basically, then we've thrown ourselves out, and the truth of God does not lie within us. Now, some of us are pretty good about, well, we do a lot of sinning in our head, which is a little harder for people to see, but God knows. God knows when we have a greedy moment or one of those moments where we're stepping on a sister or brother's head and judging them or taking some other action that should be God's and not ours. You know, God knows when we get bent, you know, or there's an injustice that we'd like to see resolved in front of us this day so that it can be fair. You know, God knows that. God knows if we covet what others have. You know, we feel jealous because they have a good relationship and ours is rocky and rambly, it's maybe stormy, or maybe we're not partnered up anymore and we wonder if we really want a partner, and you know, all that stuff that goes on is a whole internal stuff, you know, as well as the things that you keep in your mind about your partner. You know, the things that you just have to learn to love after a while because it's in their nature, dang it. It just means you can't control the nature of the beast. And sometimes there's other moments. And, you know, I mean, you can be in a relationship where one's very talkative and one's very silent. And I probably was more of the, you know, I'm like the crock pot. You know, it was very difficult because the crock pot, everything gets in and has to simmer, and it's not a good thing for someone to push me to answer because they want to know now. Because until I can get it figured out, I don't want to talk. I really took that on once, and then decided she'd never do it again. I tried everything. I even got out of the car and started walking home. Because I thought, you don't want to push me into that car catalog, girl. I know what I'll do. So I'm like, get in the car, girl. Get in the car, girl. I don't know if y'all have done that. Some people slam the door and run off. But, you know, we finally, and I started to learn that it is, I cannot talk about what's going on because I might tell you, like, you know how a stew boils? I might say, well, that's a pea and that's a carrot, but they're not connected. And if I can process and put it into some time to chew on, I'm pretty gentle and pretty kind and pretty thoughtful. But if I get prodded earlier, I have a tendency to be short-sighted of what I might be. And I think all of us have probably said stuff we should have kept in the stew pot for a few more days. And so, they come together, they have their language, they're in the place that they can be revived. They're asking for revival. Ezra is praying for the revival and thanking God for the renewal. And then they extrapolated out 4 steps that are preparation steps. They were preparing for revival, but they're very good steps for us to know. That you can take. They're pretty simple and they're pretty easy to remember what the words are. But 4 steps to getting yourself back in the relationship you'd like to have with your God and with the people around you. And the first step that they presented in Barclays was solidarity. And they proved it by saying that Ezra did not separate himself from the sin of the people. He saw himself all for the greater good. Oh, Lord. If you don't think I laid in that camper and went, I mean, I'm going, I still, after 25 years, we cannot get everybody together. That frustrates me. Dang it. I've been here long. You know, I just want to be like my mom and say, you will all be in this room and you will like it. Dang it. And all the garbage that's happened between you and him and she needs to go in the past. You got to let it go. If you're going to live in Great Falls, you're going to have a history somewhere. You know what I mean? We got to learn to be in the same room with that history if we're going to be a community. We have to see for the greater good of where we want to go. We may have to sit down next to an X and squirm a little bit and work ourselves to come, that they can have the same compassion and entrance into God if they choose, even if we'd like them to be over at the Methodist Church. We don't tolerate hitting, fighting, or throwing anything. We don't tolerate chasing me on the road. But, you know, we need to come together. We need to see that we're not just this section and this section, almost like cliques. You know, we have all the cliques that are out there. And we have a difficult time coming together. We've got classism, we've got sexism. You know, we've got all the stuff that happened to African Americans that went through. We have gay on gay violence, lesbian on lesbian violence, transgender and other transgender. We have it all lateral through there within our community. And I started to write down, well, you know, what is it that we need to do for the church? Because we are on the precipice of a very, 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 very great thing coming. We have something happening that's good. The younger ones are rising up, and some of us older ones are doing the good thing, shutting our mouth. If you haven't shut your mouth yet, please do. Do not infiltrate them with our dis-ease. I don't care if you've done something for 95 years. You don't beat them with it. You know, we've got to learn to listen. What is in their voice? Where are they coming? Because I don't know about the rest of you, but we're all starting to get gray. And we don't really have enough stuff to start this all over again, because we know what the work was when we were way over at the other church, when we were at the dance hall. You know, hauling everything out and back and buying one property and rising and then buying another property and changing over here and changing congregations. Most of us just go, I'm not moving the piano again. It stays regardless. The church we bought this with said that about downstairs. Got an upright down there, said, we're not moving the piano again. We're leaving it, you get it. You know? So, we have to hear a different voice. There are times for us to speak our wisdom. Honest to God, they want to know. They want to know what their journey was from here to here. But listening is the best thing to do right now. Let them get their feet wet. You know, let them kind of fly. You know, we need to be, as they take their lift into flight, you know, tune up some of our people that want to take some of that. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to negative them to death. There's nothing worse on a group of people than to say, we've already tried that, it'll never work. Well, it didn't work then, maybe because it was too early. We weren't ready for it. We don't know what will work. So I laid there and I thought, God, I said, how do we come together? I see this. I see open definitions. I see P-Flag. I see the GLBTQI Center and MCC. To me, that's like a four-leaf clover. You know, there's not one leaf greater than another. You know what I mean? It's an anomaly that there's a four-leaf clover. There's four separate things that are of the greater whole. The reason do I choose that? You know, if I was doing it here and it was all just for Christian, I would say the four parts of the cross. You know, however you need to see that. The clover will be a little easier on younger ears if they're not church. But we have that opportunity. Those of you that were in Catholicism, you know, that wasn't like hit my head and your right side and your left side and run around and hit someone in the, you know, the gut. It was all one thing. So I worry about that solidarity, and then no, it's not my job. I just want to be willing, and I want us to be willing. I want us to be willing to take it and go from there. We have some wisdom to share. I think we should be gentle. I think that we should think about how we say what words we do, and I think we should find out that, you know, how they see us and the comfort they have within being with us. You know, and so we need some more work on the solidarity, and they did too, because they all of a sudden they had all these experiences and rights, and so he prays for solidarity. Second then comes to the place of the second point, which was confession. We need a good me to go down on and get honest and confess our stuff to God. And I started to think, I wonder how many of us really get. I don't get out on my knees very often. I got 5 times I can get on my knees, and then I ain't getting up to 6. So I better plan it well so far. You know what I mean? But yeah, there is something humbling about when you just get to that place and you say, you know I fall short. And there's probably things I didn't even think of that I've done in this day. But God, I want my relationship to be open to you, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the shortcuts or anything that I know, or if you had a run-in with someone this week that you need to get in prayer, you know, or you got triggered when you said things you wish you had said. What I need to do, you know, I need to confess to them. I need to be willing to change, and this is the important step. We have to be willing to make a change. We confess, and those things that come within our confession often need a little foot. Are you with me? When we come to that confession, if it's dealing with people, and people are people, and we are humans, and we do what we don't want to do, most often there's a person someone laughed at in there. Maybe at work, you know, it may be a parent, it may be a sibling that's causing grief. You know, when we find that we're short with them and we don't wish them well, that's how you know if you're hooked. If you can wish someone everything you would have for your life without greed or covetousness, but you wish that, you're usually not hooked. If you're kind of waiting for them to get their due, you're hooked. Or I'm hooked. So, in that confession, I need to find out if God wants me to do something in response to me. And I usually ask myself, what's the higher road? And ask God, what's the higher road? You know, it won't kill you. I swear that you could take this to the bank to say I'm sorry. It will not kill you. I don't know why it seems so difficult to say that. Like for some reason, if you walk up and say, and it's not a I'm sorry, but. It's not a I'm sorry, but you know, and then you start getting everybody else's accountability. I'm going to have to take my own. And usually if we do something that we know is off kilter of what we want to do, the first thing we'll do is start making it, we'll start justifying it, why we have that right. You know what I mean? And so there's the confession part of it, then it carries over to the readiness to be changed. Now that's revival. Right at that place, and you're ready for change. That's epiphany. That's all of it in a nutshell. That's the resurrection in a nutshell. When we become willing to be changed by the Holy Spirit, it's what this whole book is about, is a faith journey. You know, I want to tell you right now, most of us have been taught guilt and shame in our generation. Good, right, and wrong. But a faith journey is a faith journey. You know, sometimes when we're walking on the faith journey, we're doing real good. And then there are some times that we take a divide and we may go off the track for quite a while. You know, I don't care if it's an addiction that you find yourself running into. You know, you're just sitting there and you got back into it. You know, like snacking when I watch TV at night.